You ever feel like you're missing something in an English conversation, even when you know all the words? Well, that's because there's this whole other layer of meaning, a kind of hidden music playing just beneath the surface. Today, we're going to learn how to hear it, and, more importantly, how to play it.
Okay, let's just dive right into this idea, because it's the key to everything. The words you pick, they're just the starting point. The real communication, the stuff that actually lands, happens in the delivery. You know, a single sentence can be a question, a command, or a celebration, and it all comes down to how you say it.
It's almost like there's this secret code baked into the way we talk. Native speakers use it all the time without even thinking about it, and it's how they share what they really mean. So, what is this code? Let's crack it wide open.
The best way to think about this code is to imagine spoken English not just as words, but as music. Seriously, it has a rhythm, it has a melody, and it has an emotional core that carries the real message.
And just like any great song, this speech music is built on two key ingredients. First, you've got the rhythm, or the beat, which we call word stress. And second, you've got the emotional arc, the melody, which we call intonation. Let's break them down, one by one. So let's start with the beat. This is the pulse of the English language. It's that underlying rhythm that we call word stress.
So, what is it really? Well, it's basically putting a little spotlight on one part of a word, one single syllable. You just make that part a little louder, stretch it out for a split second longer, and your pitch goes up just a tiny bit. It's the punch in the word.
For example, listen closely. We say teacher. See, the emphasis, that beat, is on the first part. If you were to say teacher, it would just sound off, right? That tiny little shift in the beat makes all the difference because English listeners are actually waiting for it to understand you clearly.
And this beat can be incredibly powerful. It's not just for flavor. Take this word, for example. When you put the stress on the first syllable, record, it's a noun, a thing. But shift that same beat to the second syllable, record, and bam, it's instantly a verb, an action. Same letters, totally different meaning, all thanks to the beat.
You know, this whole up and down pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables, that's what gives English its signature rhythm. It's not like some languages where every syllable gets the same amount of time. English has all these peaks and valleys, which is why it can sound so bouncy and fast and, well, musical.
Okay, so we've got the beat down. Now let's talk about the second part of our musical equation, the melody. This is where the real emotion comes in what we call intonation.
Intonation is pretty simple. It's just the music your voice makes over a whole sentence. It's the way your pitch goes up and down, and it's how you signal what you're really feeling, whether you're doubtful or certain or excited, and you probably do it without even realizing it.
For example, listen to the melody right here. You're coming? Did you hear my voice go up at the end there? That rising tune, that little upward arrow, is what instantly flips a statement into a question. Now let's flip that. Listen to this. I finished the work. Hear that drop? My voice goes down at the end. That falling melody signals that it's a fact. It's a done deal. The music is telling the story just as much as the words are.
All right, this is where it all comes together. We've looked at the beat of a word and the melody of a sentence. Now for the grand finale. Let's put these two powerful forces together and watch them take one simple sentence and spin it into a half dozen totally different stories.
Okay, here's our sentence. Read it just flat. I didn't say he stole the money. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, let's start playing with the beat. Okay, watch this. If I stress the very first word, I didn't say he stole the money, well, that means someone else said it, not me. Now listen to this. I didn't say he stole the money. The hidden meaning there? I just implied it. Maybe I wrote it down. What if I say, I didn't say he stole the money? Now I'm saying it was someone else who did the stealing. And how about I didn't say he stole the money? That suggests he just borrowed it. And finally, I didn't say he stole the money implies he took something else entirely. See? Mind-blowing.
So here's the bottom line. Without that specific beat on just the right word, the true intention of the sentence completely collapses. It just falls apart. And native English listener is subconsciously waiting for that little musical clue to figure out what you really mean.
So why does any of this matter so much? Because, you know, getting this hidden music right isn't just about sounding correct. It's about communicating with purpose. It's about making sure people hear what you're actually trying to say.
When you really nail this, 3 amazing things happen. First, your pronunciation stops being about just making sounds and it turns into real communication. Second, that new clarity gives you this huge surge of confidence. And third, your language goes beyond just facts and becomes a tool for expressing genuine emotion.
At the end of the day, speaking without paying attention to stress and intonation, it's like a song without a beat. I mean, sure, the words are there, but the soul, the feeling, it's just gone. It's just noise.
So, from now on, I want you to do something. The next time you speak, take a second and just listen. Really listen to your own music. Pay attention to the beat of your words and the melody of your sentences. And then ask yourself, are my words and my music telling the same story? What is my voice really saying?